And that was the day My Little Pony died. Hey Vsauce, Michael here. And despite the popular belief, it's not true. Okay, so guys, I know you're gonna be bombarding me in the comments with this question. I am not a brony. I just find topics like this interesting.
Stop lying to yourself.
On October 10th, 2010, a television show called My Little Pony Friendship is Magic aired, and absolutely nobody at that point in time would have been able to predict how big it would become.
They're not ashamed to love a bright pink mane. I speak, of course, of bronies, otherwise known as a growing number of men in love with the show My Little Pony.
As in bros who like ponies. Get it?
Really? You don't
I don't
approve?
No, but no, they're free to do it. It's a free country, as we were saying before. Comics can tell racy and off-color and offensive jokes, and grown men can do stupid and unbelievably ridiculous things.
Don't judge me.
This show was slowly gaining popularity. This fandom was curating big and ambitious projects that no fandom had really done before, such as a show-quality fan episode that was longer than actual episodes. The fandom got so big to the point where it's actually mentioned in the show's description on Wikipedia. But for some reason, this once huge fandom has become much smaller in recent years. There's no denying that. But what caused it from being the biggest fandom to just a memorable yet controversial piece of pop culture in the 2010s? This video will try to answer these two questions. What day did the show die? What day did the fandom die? Now, the day the show died is a very simple question to answer. I don't think it has. The show's episode average per season on IMDB is consistent, a lot of 7.9s. You could say the season 3 finale, Magical Mystery Cure, killed the show since it ended the original main focus of the show, Twilight studying the magic of friendship as a lonely unicorn and writing to Princess Celestia about her experiences. But Season 5 has the same episode average as Season 3, 8.1 out of 10. You could say Season 6 killed the show since it has the lowest episode average IMDb score at a 7.5, but the show rebounded to a 7.9 the next season. You see, a single bad season can't kill a show. A show can rebound after a bad season. If it can't though, that's when you can point out a certain season for killing a show. You could say Season 8 killed the show, but that's not finished yet, so we don't really know. I'm not a big fan of Season 8. Actually, I hate Season 8. But we will have to wait and see if the results of Season 8 hurt Season 9 to the point where I can confidently say Season 8 killed the show. This is a very hard question to answer. I stared at this Google Trends page for a while, trying to pinpoint when the fandom started to full-on decline. I originally decided that July 2015 was the month for when the fandom started to full-on decline, since it was the last month that fell in line with the consistencies of the Google searches in this era right here that I've highlighted on the screen. But I couldn't find any event to pinpoint in July 2015. And July 2015 didn't make sense when you look at the BronyCon numbers and you realize in August 2015, BronyCon had its biggest turnout ever. It was the only time they've ever cracked 10,000 people. So I was back to square one. And then I realized something. You can't kill a fandom. So then I decided I was going to try and figure out what made it fall out of popular culture and mainstream popularity. It couldn't be the show's fault since the show remained consistently good according to the numbers on IMDb. And I figured it out. It was a few things actually. Bronydom was a fad. It was like Pokemon Go. The differences between the two being the speeds of which this all happened. They rose up, everyone was talking about it. With bronies, everyone was talking about how strange or cool or interesting this group was. People either joined in because they thought liking a girly show was edgy, or people made fun of it. With Pokemon Go, everyone was talking about how interesting of a game idea this was, and about the dangers of kids playing it. People either joined in on Pokemon Go or mocked it. These two fads then made their political appearances.
When it comes to the speech, let's actually put this in perspective, and Sam did a really good job of laying the table. We had a 2,000-word statement. We're talking about 70 words, 3 passages. Okay, and this idea of plagiarism, if we want to talk about it, let's talk to it. Melania Trump said, "The strength of your dreams and willingness to work for them." Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony said, "This is your dream. Anything you can do in your dreams, you can do now."
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
And people lost interest, and these lines collapsed. You see, there are two groups of people who mainstreamed these two things. The first group were people who just joined in because they thought Pokemon Go was cool or liking MLP was edgy. Then most of these people left when the next cool or edgy thing came. The other group of people just started liking these two things because it was a trend. Then they left when the next trend came. Fidget spinners. Now, just because these two things were popularized by fads doesn't mean that they are bad things and don't have a fan base. The Pokemon Go fan base is actually making a comeback, and the game is still popular, and from what I've heard, the game has improved too. Now, My Little Pony is still good, but I just don't see the fandom growing again. I just see it continuing to slowly decline. I know many former bronies who just stopped watching it because they simply grew out of it. Maybe they thought they were too old for it. Maybe if they became a brony in middle school, they probably left the fandom in high school because they didn't want to get picked on. Or maybe they got into the brony fandom in high school, and once they graduated or dropped out, their life got too busy for ponies and they just forgot about it and moved on. Or maybe people just got bored with it and moved on to other things. In conclusion, there was no big event that made people leave the fandom en masse. It was just popularized by a fad, and after those people left, some more people left for different reasons, and the fandom shrunk back to its 2011 size. And for the show, I just don't think it died. The ratings are consistent, and people are still enjoying the show. So I think that wraps up this video. Hey guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. It's really appreciated. I'd like to give a big thank you to Brittany Ackerman and everybody else who helped out. I'll put their profile icons on the screen, and I'll probably put their links in the description or something. If you enjoyed, please drop a sub and drop a like. I really appreciate it. It's really hard to get a lot of attention on YouTube, and I put a lot of work into this video, and I'd really appreciate it if you did that. Thank you. Have a great day. Hey guys, so I'm gonna start answering questions at the end of every video now. Mainly so I can stretch it out to 10 minutes, you know, I've worked hard on this one. I think I deserve the extra ad revenue, you feel me? So yeah, I took this idea, or I should say stole, from the gamer from Mars. Recommend you watch his videos, they're pretty good. He's a good video essayist, if that's the term you want to use. Another good video essayist I would recommend is Austin McConnell, and of course my boy KTO, you know. Alright, 2, 1, we reached the 10-minute mark. See you guys later. Have a wonderful day.